bitches.
Hi, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Onyx Storm, Part 7. Want to hear about my day?
No.
You want to hear about my day? Let me tell you, people are assholes. They don't understand common human decency. And then I have to go play in trash to get our trash thing to work. And a bag breaks open. And then comes trash rain. Oh, chaos. You want to hear it?
He's interested.
Well, listen, chaos. You might want to close your ear holes for this because a stupid used condom fell out of this bag. And I was like, I'm done. I'm going home.
I would have gone home.
I packed up everything. I walked inside. I washed my hands, sent out a couple of quick emails, looked to my assistant, and I was like, we're going. On the way home, I called a couple of board members, and I was like, I left. And this is why. Okay. Have a good day. Bye.
Yeah, absolutely. I would have been out of there too.
I was like, okay, we're done. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't give a
lucky
shit
you're
that
not
it's
paying for me to
3:30.
go get tested. Blech.
Yeah, I was like, I don't care that it's 3:30 right now. I'm going home. And that's what we did. We left. I was like, okay, here we go. So that was my day.
Well, right now I'm apparently rocking my infant, except the difference between this infant and like an actual infant is that this one is 14 fucking pounds.
And it's a cat.
And it's a cat.
A needy kitty.
You can probably hear him purring.
He's just so happy. He's just so lonely.
He's so needy because his mom is not home right now. Oh yes, mwah, thank you.
No, poor baby. He's like, I'm just going to be the guest today. Don't worry. We're going to talk about Onyx Storm together.
Yeah, we are.
Absolutely not.
Was that Siri?
Yes. The new iPhone, if you double tap the bottom part of it,
Oh,
up pops Siri.
yeah, that's going to be a setting that needs to be turned off.
Mm-hmm. So, like, if I were to do, like, put it to sleep and I do this.
It's not going to work now because you're trying to make it happen. But if you weren't trying to make it happen, it would be happening.
Yeah, you do this.
Don't like that. She interrupts enough as is.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, baby.
And you have this handy dandy Android button right here. You can choose it to whatever you want. I was going to choose the light source because I need it quite a bit. I'm always needing the light. And you can also, apparently, there was like one you can shake it, or Siri, Lumos. Siri, Knox. So I just do that because that's fun. But, go away. But yeah, now I just have to hold it for ring and do that. And there's a cool little button over here where you can just go boop and it pops up your camera.
Oh.
I was like, what the fuck are these buttons?
Hey, good to know.
iPhone 16, yo. All right, anyways, chapter 42.
Chapter 42. So
oh my god, I forgot where we were.
Yeah, I did too. I had to look it up. We have just learned that the Irids are pacifists and that they're kind of assholes.
And to be honest, they're like, it's very cult.
Yes.
And I know there's some extremists out there, or like very opinionated people that are always saying something along the lines of any religion. Did somebody just come through your door?
No.
I heard your like door alarm, like when somebody opens the door, go off.
I didn't.
For a second, I thought it was like Brittany coming in, and then I realized I was like, wait, Brittany's not even there.
All the doors are locked, so hopefully nobody's coming in.
Okay, well, it's your ghost that followed you home. So I know there's some like extreme opinionated people who say like any religion, whatever it is a cult. Listen, they were doing a test on not just like not Andarna, but essentially the people. And because Andarna is the way that she is, Violet failed the test. And that is the like test that they're doing because they want to be pacifists. They want to not be used for war, which is why they left all those years ago. And because of that, it like they say we're not going to do that because of like they want peace, but it's like you not doing anything is not wanting peace.
Right.
Like it's still going to affect you, but not at this moment. And it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So it's very cult like. It's just what you're doing is not peaceful, essentially.
Yeah, and they're basically like, we're not helping you. We're not coming with you. This is you guys. Okay, goodbye. You guys are awful and evil, and they call Andarna
Yeah.
a horror. And I was just like, this is not what I expected when we found the Irids.
Yeah, and it's weird because like they're all blue and she chooses to like the color black, which could not necessarily signify anything, but it's like Violet wears black because she's a rider. It's rider black. Taryn is black and she's always with Taryn, so like maybe she I don't know, wants to be something similar with that. Like she could have chose red, she could have chose blue, but like
Yeah.
these guys are weird about it. And their tails are feather tails still. And she
Yeah.
chose something different. And he's like, you chose a weapon. And it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
They don't choose to have club tails or scorpion tails or any of this bullshit.
Yeah.
It's how they use it. But Xaden comes back with Garrick, and as he's coming back and getting close, his eyes are red.
Yep. And
But why?
yeah, that's a great question. But the Irids are like, nope. That is like the final straw, and they're like, no.
Yeah, and then at that point too, they also say, what is it? They basically say like you're beyond redemption. There's nothing you can do that fixes this.
Yeah.
And then he tells, or like the lead dragon, which there's a dragon that's beside them with like one horn or something like that because it looks like the horn got damaged. And he keeps looking at Indarna in a way that's like not fatherly, but like that could be like some type of relation. It's
Yeah.
like he knows this is the dragon that was left forever ago, but like the way he cares enough about it is
Yeah.
kind of suspicious to me on that. But they also tell everybody that there is no cure.
Yeah, they do.
And that this was just one big shithole.
And then the chapter literally ends by Riddick going, I'm guessing he's why you've been so hung up on finding a cure. Yeah, I saw his eyes turn red. And yeah. Oh, then Xaden starts to say something. And he's like, not a single word from you, Dark Wielder. Vi, you've got one chance to come clean and tell me what the actual fuck is going on.
And the fact that Riddick is such, I don't want to say golden retriever, but he's somebody who values the squad. He knows the gravity of the situation at hand, and he knows that like they work best as a team if they're all together. So like he's very team player-esque. And the fact that this really sets off the team player like mode,
Yeah.
you're in deep shit. Yeah.
But I think, and I like we'll discover this kind of as things go on, but like I feel like he is almost more hurt that she didn't tell him.
Yeah, because they do have that trust. They do have that like friendship that,
and like as a squad, they made a like pact to not lie to each other anymore.
yeah, because it can affect them and it can hurt them.
Yep.
So yeah, and to me, honestly, I feel like Riddick sees this as like a family.
Yeah.
And the fact that one of his close friends slash family member, sister, if you will, didn't say anything to him, and that's hurtful. Oh, yeah, I heard that. Mom, please pick me up. I wasn't finished.
Come here. I didn't put you down to begin with. Come on.
But I was just gonna say, and so that goes into the next episode. That goes into the next chapter, chapter 43, where Riddick, damn kid, Riddick lets it loose on everybody that he is mad. He talks about loyalty. Like, they're talking about loyalty in this like moment based on everything that's happened and the loyalty that they have amongst one each other. But it's like Riddick is supreme when it comes to loyalty. There is nobody better. Like, I don't give a fuck that Xaden's like, I will be as loyal to you as I possibly can. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about anything else. Because despite the good-natured that any of the lies either of them have said to each other, Riddick has never shied away from the truth.
Yeah. He's a real one.
He really is. That's why I love him so much.
I wrote Riddick is a real one.
That's why I love him so much.
I'm sorry, I have to turn the page. Oh my goodness. But no, Riddick makes a very fair point on page 355. And it's kind of okay, a kind of fair point. From his perspective, the 5 people that know that Xaden is a motherfucker, Venom, are Xaden, Violet, Garrick, Bodhi, and Imogen. And all of those people are loyal to Xaden.
Mm-hmm.
None of those people, now, all of those people are also loyal to Violet, but because of Xaden. So, like, none of those people are Vi's people. And Riddick is like, fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like,
we've been with you since day one.
Yeah.
Even when all these bitches wanted to hurt you.
Yeah, and so he's like, yeah. And she's struggling with finding out that there is no cure. So he
because
says,
he's like backing off. He's getting away from her.
But he's like, oh, sorry. Riddick is like, what is the line? Where's the line? Where is the line that you need someone else to take care of it if you can't do it?
And the fact that she doesn't say a line without having been walked through. Now, here's the thing. As I was writing this, I was like, Brandy would be like, yeah, I'm with Xaden. I wouldn't have a line. Like, I would do as much as I can, or Violet as much as I can before, like, the end of it all. Like, I'd die. I was like, Brandy's going to have a fucking issue with this because she's going to be like, I would do anything like that for Brittany. I would do
I
any of
would
that for
be
Brittany.
Xaden. Like in this situation, I am Xaden. I am the one who channeled to save her.
See, exactly. Like, there is no line. And I
Right.
was sitting here like, it's
What are
honestly
you
kind of toxic that there's no line
fair?
because there's got to be a line.
I don't
And
know.
that's fine. Because you know what? I was
I
sitting
don't
here
know.
thinking about it and I was like, not that Will and I are toxic, but I'm telling you right now, I probably would do the exact same thing. I'd have to ask him for his opinion. That doesn't mean anything.
And like, I mean, sitting there thinking about it, like right now, like thinking logically and talking through it, I'd be like, no, I wouldn't do that. But in the heat of the moment, like she's about to die, I would do it. I
Oh,
know I
yeah.
would. Like,
Yeah.
not even a question.
And here's the thing, too. Like, a lot of people are upset that he channeled to do whatever, but it's like, what if in the other book, the Dark Wielder, the Sage, whatever, killed him? Everyone talks as if Xaden dies, Sigale dies, and then Sigale dies and then Taryn dies, and then because Taryn dies, Violet dies. So like in this long string of connectivity, to be quite honest, to save more than one person and to like attempt to use the power against them, I probably would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, even though, like, logically speaking, I've had time to digest every of that, I still probably would have done it.
Yeah. I definitely,
feel like if you
that's
didn't,
not even a question.
yeah, I feel like if you didn't, you'd be the selfish one. Because
Yeah.
it's like, oh, so you're not going to use the power to save your loved ones. You're gonna just give up. No, fuck you.
No.
Yeah.
Well, and then I also like how Riddick is like, he's pushing her. Like, where is the line? Is it does he hurt Taryn? Does he hurt Andarna? Like, where's the line? If you don't tell me where the line is, I'm going to the only person here who will put your life above everybody else's, Mira. And I was like, fuck yeah, Riddick. Yep. Because Mira, if she knew, would kill him on sight, no question.
Oh, yeah.
Not even, no talking about it. He's dead. Because she already doesn't like him. Like,
Yeah, and she would take one look at him and then be like, is this true? I trust you over him. Here we go.
yeah.
Fucking
Well,
pulls
and
out
then
a gun from the 15th century and just shoots him dead right there.
she finally says that if he killed another rider, hurt civilians, hurt her friends, her dragons, or hurt her, then he's not him anymore. And so that's the line. But Riddick is pissed still. He's like, stop keeping shit to yourself. I don't want to have this fight again. The four of us are stronger together than we are apart. Don't fuck with that, even for Ryerson. If you're too afraid to tell Reese, Sawyer, or me about something you're doing because you know we're going to lose our shit, then either you shouldn't be doing it or you deserve to have shit lost on you. Fuck yes, Riddick. Because also that. While I would fully be in Xaden's position right now if I were in this story, I also fully
I'd
agree.
probably walk up to Riddick, be like, bro, I get it.
Well, honestly, like, I feel like as Xaden, I would be pretty much where he's at. I would be wanting to tell people to keep her safe because he knows that she's not safe with him. And so he's trying to keep her safe, but anyway.
Well, and the fact that she's like, no one must know because they could kill him, and he's like, man, I should probably fucking tell them so that they can watch me.
Yeah. And then they're trying to talk about like who Riddick has conditions. He
always
terms.
And they're sarcastic too, and I love it.
And some of those terms are telling their friends. Specifically Ree, Sawyer, and Jasenia. And
not Ados? Dane specifically?
She's like, absolutely not. He'd kill you. And I'm like, yeah, fuck him. So unrelated story time, real quick. My friend Katie, who lives in Texas, from like childhood, texted me the other day because she typically reads thrillers and she wanted to know a few fantasy series she should try to get into. And then you know me, of course, I go super extra. I'm like, okay, do you want cozy fantasy? Do you want like dystopian? Do you want romantasy? Do you want
To be
fun?
honest, though, that is that's a legitimate thing. I like was looking at my bookshelf the other day, and I was like, they all one are fantasy,
Yeah.
pretty much almost all of it. And then I was like, that's dystopian section. This is the fairy tale section. That is the new age astrological kind of section. This is Will's random section of whatever. Oh look, my witchcraft stuff. And I was just like, damn, everything's got like a section like dystopian and all that. And I was like,
Yeah. So I gave her a lot of ideas, but I gave her two specific series that I thought would be good for a like beginner. And I was like, one of them is For the Throne, which is like it's romance, but it's fantasy with like fae and gods and goddesses, demons, that kind of stuff. Or Fourth Wing. And I gave her like a little tiny synopsis of both. And she started Fourth Wing and she read the first 130 pages, but she texted me today and was like, is it bad that I'm rooting for Xaden? I fucking hate Dane. And she was like, I don't really like Dane. And I was like, dude, I fucking hate Dane. So
you and the entire fandom. Although the like select few that I ended up interacting with on Facebook was like, oh Dane this, and I was like,
and Rebecca Yarros likes Dane. Like, ew.
I know I was sitting here like, I haven't finished Onyx Storm yet, so if there's something in there that I'm not gonna enjoy, I don't want it. I don't want it at all. I'm still into those toxic, and you know what? And what's really funny is that I haven't talked to this girl in years. We were roommates in college, and she's like, she always went for like the toxic, like frat boys.
Dane.
I was like, okay, but like your toxic frat boys always broke the rules, like the bad boys kind of stuff. So I was like, okay, she'd probably be into like the toxicity. So like Xaden, that's what I figured. She's like, Dane is such a sweetheart, and I was like,
ew. Is he though? Like,
first
is
off,
he?
I feel like that's who I always went for in a person. Like, you know, a little bit protective, a little bit this, but then when I started like specifically started dating Will and feeling like seeing my self-worth and like getting more sassy about stuff, I was like, now Zayden's where it's at.
I feel like I usually go for the Riddick, the funny, like smart but funny, and yeah.
I feel like Will is a mix of Xaden and Riddick.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because he's like the black cat, like Xaden, like doesn't want to talk to anybody, just wants to be broody in his own little bubble. And then he just sits there randomly at dinner and he's like, starts laughing and we're like, what are you doing? He goes, playing pranks.
Yeah.
There you go. The mixture. But
yeah. But yeah, anyway, they're like, no, not Atos.
It's funny though, because at the end of all this, before he like walks away, like Riddick specifically, at the end of their conversation, they're all like, okay, agreed, we'll tell these people, that's fine with me, whatever, the more the merrier, the more people to protect her. And Riddick's like, good. Also, that strike right there, that wasn't us. Oh, well, it was us, but not us. If you know what I mean. And then he's like, well aware at first, because I trust Violet, and second, he like lances in a dismissive once over and goes, it wasn't that big of a strike. And he's like, nope, you and I are not back to dick jokes yet. Not that we were ever there. I'm still pissed. And he just walks away. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. So on page 360, Xaden is like kind of being a not he's being down on himself
Yeah.
because he
He
was
doesn't
like,
trust himself.
you almost had the irids, you almost had them, and then they saw my eyes and they were like, no, and they left. And so he's blaming himself. And she's like, that's not fair. And I'm like, but isn't it?
Oh, I
Like,
think it's 100% fair.
yeah, like that's
If
exactly what
he,
happened.
and here's the thing, like, he could have stayed away.
Right. He didn't have to come over.
Like, knowing his condition, knowing that they know nothing about the ear, it's not even
Right.
an irid herself.
They're lucky that they didn't torch him. Like,
Oh, yeah. And the fact that he's, like, marching up out of nowhere, like, I'm gonna help her, blah, blah, blah. Bitch, stay back and let Garrett go up there.
right. Like,
Like,
and
they have magic. She
they
could.
could have torched him. Like, no normal dragons probably can't because he's venom, but like the Irids can.
Yeah.
So like,
And that's the thing.
like you're lucky you're still living. Although, look, I guess you're lucky Violet's still living because he probably doesn't care about his own life now. But like knowing that his life
Is
would
tied.
likely sacrifice
Yeah.
Sigil's and Terrence and Violet's and potentially even Andarna's. Although I don't think so, but maybe.
I feel because she is like a more powerful. I don't want to say more powerful, but like she's got different abilities.
She does, and she's so young. And this is
Yeah.
her first bond.
And the last one nearly killed Terrence, so this one's
Right.
confirmed.
Yeah, like not almost not a chance that he will that he lives through it.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, at this rate, the he needs to just stay where he is, basically. Obviously, with this, he couldn't have because of how long they were away and the timing of everything. But, like, in general, when they talk to people, when they go do things, like, he just needs to stay away.
Yeah, for sure.
That
And
would
then,
probably protect her more than whatever the fuck is happening.
Yeah. So I don't this chapter. So much happens in this chapter. So now they're heading home. They're flying over Peromio, and somehow Theophany doesn't show up. Like they kind of expect her to. But she doesn't, and they're kind of like, this feels too easy, like what's happening? And I agree, it feels too easy. But
fucking Ados meets them at the flight field when they land at Bisgayeth.
Yeah.
And he hands her a note. Yeah. And it's from Theophany. So Theophany was able to get a message to her, whatever means that is. And she's basically saying, like, we're coming.
Before that, though.
Oh, what?
Ados is a dick. And he is like, we'll discuss your punishment for disobeying orders later. Looks at Drake and says, it's too bad you were born on the wrong side of the family. Then looks at Kat and says, the good news is that you're one step closer to your throne. And Kat's like, Serena? And Ados goes, is that your sister? And they're like, he's not fucking answering her question. He's not telling her what happened. And she's like, and then he gives Violet the note and says, and she's like, is Serena Cordella alive? And he's like, last I heard, she's fine. And then we get to the note. But basically, he's just being a dickhead because someone is dead and he's not answering them and telling them who.
And of course, the majority of the people who who are falling to the Dark Wielders are the riders. Not the riders, the flyers.
The Flyers. And they're almost all related to Cat. Like, all of the ones in line for the throne are related to Cat. So, just about no matter who's dead, it's one of Cat's relatives.
Yeah.
But now it's a Theophany's note. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Theophany gets a note to her and essentially looks at him and goes, "I do hope you had a marvelous time on your journey, though your riot looked a little haggard when you flew over Pavis. I do wonder why you went to so much effort when I have this one thing you seek above all else." And it's like, damn, she keeps sending shit to you. You might as well just fucking go to her at this rate.
Well, and part of me is like, does she mean she has a cure? Or does she mean that she has, like, the power for Violet to, like, if Violet were to go over to that side, then her and Xaden could just be together. Is that what she means? Or does she mean that she has a cure?
And that is how you be a villain.
Yeah. Like,
you say one thing, and it can mean several. And you won't find out until you're there or until it's too late. So.
Oh, and then I also wrote, like, or does she have the like, broken pieces of Xaden's soul? Like, the pieces that he, I don't know, what's the word? Like, gave away to become Venom?
See, I thought about that because, like, he keeps saying, like, parts of me are broken or something like that. And so, like, I was thinking, oh, what if, I don't know, like, this went away? But I think it's more along the lines of, like, I don't think that's possible in this world. I think it's more along the lines of, like, you could just join us.
Yeah, I think that's what she means, but my brain went to all kinds of other ideas as well. Because that's what this kind of book is. You
finished the book, but I was sitting here thinking, I was like, what? Okay, so in like Aladdin, in Aladdin, there's in the TV series, I guess, in the like TV series, there was a moment where like an evil sorceress or whatever person, street rat, something, was like, I want Aladdin for myself. And so they go to like great lengths and they essentially get these two to like break up. And then like she swoops in and cuts this, but it's kind of like you lure them in to steal what you want. And like, she's a lightning wielder, he's a shadow wielder. Yeah. What if she wants his dick?
Oh.
Just kidding. But
maybe.
But what if? She's like, oh, I'm a lightning wielder. I'm more powerful than you are. He's a powerful shadow wielder. And Venom, let's do this.
Maybe.
I never look at your face whenever I say the things because I don't want to be right or wrong. So I look away.
That's probably fair because my face tends to say what the fuck it wants to say.
I know. Speaking of school in your face, I told my assistant today, I was like, hey, for your first board meeting, if you don't know how to school your face, I'm going to need you to either sit this out or quickly learn. Yeah. And she goes, what do you mean? And I was like, listen, there is one member in there that you don't know what kind of day you're going to get with them. 1 minute you say something and they're like, what do you mean? When did this happen? What is this going on? Who are we talking about? And this board member has been here since like the beginning of whatever the fuck we're talking about. And then you're like, this. Well, what's going on with that? Sir. We're in a fucking lawsuit. What do you mean? What's wrong with that? I need you to focus. And then like the next day, they'll be like, oh, well, the market did this, blah, 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 which means financially, if we did this. But however, legally, because he's like a retired lawyer, so then he just like starts spouting off some like legal jargon. And I was like, listen, it's going to be a fucking roller coaster. You go in there and you'll be like, the entire fucking time. I was like, if you need to do any emotion, lift your eyebrows, because you could be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But people think you're listening to them.
Yeah. That's what I usually do.
Just like lift your eyes, lift your eyebrows, keep your mouth shut.
Mhm.
Don't move it. She just starts laughing and she goes, okay, I'll work on it. I was like, okay. Because let me tell you, I didn't school my face and I got caught.
Yeah.
I gave the biggest fucking stank face ever. And I was like, huh? They were like, Emily, you look confused. And I'm like, it's just the fucking audacity that's happening here is what I'm confused about. Thank you. So listen, I don't look at anybody's face because I'm gonna learn something I don't want to learn.
That's fair.
You specifically because you read books quicker than
Yeah,
I.
and I don't, my face does not, it does what it wants. Anyway, chapter
There is no
44.
learning. Listen.
Markham.
There's just a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
I didn't have a lot to say other than oh shit. Mainly because they're going back to training. Just like everything was.
I wrote, fucking Markham. I'm confused. This is crazy.
Yeah. So it's just everything, is all happening and going around and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh shit. It's really happening. Because, like, throughout this chapter, we learn multiple locations. The front line has been pushed back significantly. It's flying over this location, going straight for this. And it's like, oh, fuck, where are they going? They're going to Risha because that's where a hatching ground is. That's the next big magic hole. So they're going there. And we don't know. We could have less than months to figure shit out. And then, like, you got the fucking guards in the back, too.
Oh, yeah, because fuckface is here.
Deborah is like, make yourself as extremely uncomfortable as you can. Thank you.
Yes. I'm cracking up though because they're in battle brief, right? And they're talking about all this. And Violet's like, say it. Go ahead and say it. Like, don't hesitate. Say it.
Do
and
it.
Sawyer's like, no way. Not even in hypotheticals. You don't send a cadet against a maven. And Ree goes, you send Sorengale. And Sawyer's like, and you just did. Like, Sawyer's cracking me up. But Ree's like, you said nothing was off the table. Sorengale could have taken out a chunk of the Wyvern on approach by striking into that same cloud, including their lightning wielder, as long as they don't know Violet's there.
Yeah. Yeah, because they came in with the storm. They flew in with the storm.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Violet's like, do your job. It's hypothetical. You need to say what you need to say. And Ree's like, then Sorengale needs to be the better of the two.
Yeah, Sorengale, get your shit together. Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And now we are telling Sawyer, Ree, and Jasenia about Xaden.
It's always crazy how, like, quickly they can sign. And I'm like, damn, where the fuck did they learn to sign?
Yeah.
Because they're over here, like, while they're speaking to each other, it's like, holy shit, bro. Yeah. Are you spelling these out? Because my brain and my hands wouldn't be working. I'd be like, Athenbine.
I just said, the last thing I said for this chapter was literally, well, at least she didn't sugarcoat it. Because Riddick's like, tell them or I will. Well, he signs it. And
everyone's
Violet
like,
goes, Xaden is slowly turning venom. Like, oh, okay. We just go put it right out there. We're not gonna sugarcoat it. We're gonna put it out there. Which, I mean, is honestly the best way to do it. But, like, yeah. Whoa.
Because you'd rather, like, hit them with the punch and then be like, what? Mm-hmm. This is not something you could
really question it. Ree just goes, talk.
And it's not, here's the thing though, it's not like something that you can really, like, soften the blow of receiving. You have to just
Yeah,
rip it
I mean,
off.
there really isn't a way to sugarcoat it. Unless you were like, well, you remember when this almost happened, and Xaden saved my life, like,
what a sweetheart. By the way, he had to turn venom for that.
yeah,
But I'm still
like,
alive.
you
Yay!
could sugarcoat it. And I am the queen of sugarcoating shit, okay? Ask my employees. But
I just look at mine and I'm like, that person's a fucking asshole. Just be
oh well,
aware.
yeah. If I'm talking about somebody else, I don't sugarcoat things. But when I'm trying to tell them, hey, you fucking suck, I tend to sugarcoat a little bit on that when I'm like telling someone that they're not doing their job correctly.
I'm not in a comfortable position to be able to do that just yet.
I'm getting better at it. I'm getting much better at it, which is, I don't know if that's it's definitely a good thing, but
I'm definitely doing well with like doing that to my board, but not so much my like workers.
Well, I'm
mainly because
a
like
year
I
and a few
work with
months
them all
in.
the time.
Oh,
Huh?
so I'm a year and a few months in to this position,
No,
I'm getting good at it. But anyway, Violet didn't sugarcoat; she just straight up said it. And then in the next chapter, we go straight on into a dream. We're just going to pretend like we didn't just drop a bomb on our friends. We're going to just go into a dream.
This is where I think her second signet pops in. She's a dreamwalker, I'm telling you. Your face is giving it away. You want to know why I knew? You looked at me and your eyes were just like, you would look more confused if you didn't know.
I was just trying to remember if that was in this set of chapters or not.
It's not.
Oh, well. You're welcome.
Listen, it's not. People don't fucking read with us. They read and then listen. Let's be real.
Yeah. So she had this dream. And then she wakes up. What? I'm on page 378. Right. That was where my first comment is. Oh, they're in like the signet sparring class. No, they're not. Where are they at?
Oh, you want to know why I was like, this is where her signet is like a thing? Because I think she's having a dream with Xaden, essentially. I think she's linked to Xaden, and that's what I'm seeing. And so I think she's either seeing the future, seeing the thing, because she is like, the sage is like, then you'll find I have ways to bring you to heal. They have been trying so fucking hard to bring Xaden over there, even though she thinks it's about her. And then at the end of it, it's like wisps of silver hair blow in the breeze at the edge of my vision, and the sword of Tyrandor rushes toward my chest. Ain't no fucking way Theophany is gonna kill fucking Xaden. Silver hair? Nah. This bitch is coming by. although the hilt of Tyrandor might have been blown and fired by Indarna, and maybe that'll fucking kill the inside venom of him, or it's got some type of rune in it that's like magic, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're
that's
good.
Our second segment.
They are learning a new like dismount and remount maneuver, and yet again Violet is like, I can't do that. Like, bitch, do you really still doubt? Like, do you still doubt that Taryn and Xaden haven't already thought of a whole plan and don't already know how this is gonna work?
Yeah, like, Taryn is not going to let his entire family line of that goes back 10,000 years be demolished by one of his riders not able to land a blow like that.
Yeah. And she does it. Like, she
I was really confused during all of this. I was like, what the fuck is happening?
So Taryn like dives basically and she like runs down his shoulder and jumps. She is falling, right? Because, you know, um, she throws her arms out to the side. Taryn catches her, takes her to the ground, drops her off kind of. She releases her crack of power, and then Taryn comes back and grabs her and then throws her up into the air and puts her back on his back, just like the old days. Like, it's just, yeah, really, we still doubt ourselves. Annoying.
And here's the thing too, I kind of wonder if like in the heat of battle, I feel like you build this relationship with your dragon, especially when you're in battle. If you see the best possible moment to strike, and that is like higher up than you're going to be able to land, regardless of like being able to succeed the rolling land or whatever, I feel like you're going to take that opportunity and fucking go for it.
Yeah.
And if your dragon values you as a person because of like your skill, like your trust, your whatever, they're going to do something about it.
Well, and like Taryn has already proven that he is okay with doing things not the correct way. Like,
Yeah.
That's one thing I really like about this series. It's the main character is disabled. Like, it's
Yeah,
not
and
an
not often.
overt thing, and it's not like referenced constantly. Well, it was in the first book, but like now it's rarely referenced. But she is
It's
disabled. Like, she has a what's
joint issue.
chronic illness, basically.
Yeah. And I like it because there's a lot of chronic illnesses out there that you would not know.
Right. But they adapt things for her, and she's still able to do everything that the other writers are able to do. And like do it well, and it just shows that ableism is a thing.
Yeah, so there's a girl that had muscular dystrophy, I think. She they're actually Purdue alumni, the parents are. They live out in Nevada, and they have in Las Vegas, they have something called the Nevada Brew Works. And the Nevada Brew Works actually has a lager, or an IPA, one of the two, in honor of their daughter.
Okay.
And that money that they get from that is not profit. It goes straight to their foundation that they started for their, like, in honor of their daughter. And that money helps raise funds for family with children with disabilities where insurances will not pick up.
Ugh.
Like a wheelchair, a kid who can't walk needs a wheelchair. And if parents can't afford it and insurances won't pay for it, they won't get it at all regardless.
Well, and
And
just to be clear, like with that, yes, insurance will typically pay for like the initial wheelchair, but they'll only pay for a new wheelchair like every 5 years or something. And if you think about it, if you need that wheelchair at like 6 years old, okay, by the time 5 years goes by, now you're 11. How much do you grow between 6 and 11?
yeah, so you're going through like a wheelchair a year, basically.
Right. And insurance will not pay for it.
Yeah. So this foundation, and I wish I remembered it, this foundation legitimately will raise this money for you, and they will donate whatever you need because your insurance will not pick it up. It will help you. So I read, she was doing her, so her daughter unfortunately passed away. They went on a family trip to Florida, and they were gone with like the parents and all of that, like grandparents. And she, unfortunately, they woke up and they saw her not with them anymore. So midway through the vacation, she passed away. And so she was doing like, and it's coming up on a year. I think in May is like a year that this happened. And so she was doing like a memorial video to her and like sharing everything and like sharing the reason behind the foundation and like all of the stuff. Somebody, and there was a picture of her on like, I don't know, like a teacup ride or something like that, some ride. And the comment was, you're not even giving her a good life. Like, she's disabled. Why do you have her on a ride? This is selfish. And the woman pops up, because it was like a comment on that video. She like pops into the screen and was like, the audacity of you to think that this child is any different and cannot enjoy the same things you're enjoying. Because it was like, I think they like called her like a vegetable, because she was like,
Oh shit.
because she was like leaning on like one side, and like the facial features aren't always there for like emotions and all that. So they're just like, she's
Yeah.
like a vegetable. She doesn't have any feelings, kind of stuff. And
I really want to punch people in the face all the time.
yeah, so she popped up out of nowhere and was like, how ableist of you. And I was like,
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Like,
but like,
ugh.
that's
I mean,
okay. So like,
we could side quest on this for hours, because
yeah, no,
I
I know.
think of the students that I've had in the past. We specifically had one student in common who had a walker that he used. Can you imagine him on a teacup ride and how happy and excited he
Oh
would
my
be?
God. Yeah.
Like, I just,
And if
it,
somebody in the crowd's like, why does he get on it and I can't? Like, I'm able to, fuck you, bro. No,
yeah,
absolutely not.
the punch that will be flying towards your face in 3.5 seconds is why. Okay.
Yeah,
Fuck
like
off.
I would give up my entire fucking I would give up my job and I will go to jail for some
Right.
unknown child who is disabled. Fuck you. They're
Yeah.
not defined by their disability or their thing. They are a
Dude, if
person
I
with
had the
something.
money, I would literally pay to take that child to Disney World. Do you know how
Oh,
much fun he would be at fucking Disney World? Like,
think about another one that didn't need a walker but
wore a helmet
would scream sometimes.
and wore a helmet?
Yep,
Yeah, absolutely. That's a whole grown ass man. That's not even a child.
that's true. But still. Anyways, so I appreciate having a main character with a disability, because there's a lot of disabilities out there. It's that you don't see. And so
Yeah.
this is putting this into the world. It's like all the little black girls who were like, oh my God, I could be a mermaid like Ariel because she's a mermaid. Like, representation, bro.
Yeah, representation matters. It fucking matters. Ugh, anyway. It's Xaden's birthday.
This is so fucking cute.
And
Not gonna lie.
Violet, yeah, it really is. Violet has um she has a black metal wrist cuff made for Xaden. It's made of onyx, and then there's a little stone mounted in the band, and that is a piece of the turret of on top of Rierson House. Like, how fucking cute is that?
And here's the thing. She makes him a chocolate cake and she goes, I know this might be too soon. I don't know if it's your favorite anymore, but wait. She gives him a piece of cake, right? Or am I mixing that up with her, like
No,
with the other book?
she says open it, and she's like, I hope I made the right choice since it's definitely too soon to bring out anything that resembles a cake. She does reference cake.
Okay, that's
She's like,
where it was. I was thinking back to when she brought him cake or whatever on
yeah, on the parapet. Right.
Not the parapet. When they were on like the windowsill, like roof sort of thing.
Oh.
I think.
Maybe. I don't know. Anyway.
Whatever.
She's like, happy birthday. And he's like, I love you, but I'm only gonna get worse. You really should run. Are we still having this conversation? Like, would you run? No, you wouldn't. So why would you expect her to run?
Here's the thing though, I don't think she ever says that to him. Like, you know, when you always hear the same argument from the person.
Yeah.
And then like you never use it against them.
Yeah.
I mean, he would probably come back with, well, of course, I'm obsessed with you. It's not healthy how obsessed and how controlling you are of me. And then she'd be like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Do I need to call the police?
But he's like, you really should run. And she says, come find me when you're ready to accept the fact that I won't. And then they are like talking back and forth about how long it's been since he channeled and how it's been longer this time than it was the last time.
Mm-hmm.
And on page 384, they're talking about how the Felix is here. Yeah. And because the words are weakening, and Felix is like, they're failing. And since I've been informed that you won't let Carr instruct you, because fucking obviously, I suppose we better get back to work. And she's like, I'll be in Arisha in about a month for rotation. You didn't have to come all the way up here. And if I was sure we'd have a month, I would have waited. Oh. And that's the end of chapter 45.
Yeah.
Yay! For 46. Do we want to do one more chapter for this episode?
Yeah.
Okay. I only have a couple of things written down. I have a lot.
I only have one thing each for the next 2 chapters. 4 chapters, so.
Oh, I have a lot for 47.
Okay, we're not doing that then.
So we'll do 46. 46. They are practicing and Darna's not around. She doesn't want to be seen right now because obviously, like, she was just rejected by her family. Like, that takes some time to heal from. It just
and
does.
Also I feel like it also has something to do with Xaden too.
Probably because I feel like they already weren't happy about the whole situation with Xaden, but then Darna is in Darna, so she was being supportive. But with Xaden popping up at the end there, that really was like the nail in the coffin that fucked everything up. And so I feel like she probably is feeling some type of way about Xaden right now.
Yeah.
But speaking of Xaden, I love when people try to tell Xaden what he can or can't do. On page 387, they're arguing, the scenarium or whatever is arguing about, what are they arguing about?
About letting Puromish.
Yeah, letting in the Puromish civilians. Basically letting in refugees. And just, anyway. Xaden.
I didn't know that was a thing. I didn't know that was common amongst war-ridden worlds.
They're talking lots of shit to Xaden. Lots of shit. And they call Xaden a pretentious, spoiled child who has never known suffering a day in your... Xaden says, enough.
They're talking about
they're not Xaden, they're talking about
Caldir. Yeah, Llewellyn's yelling at Caldir.
Yeah.
Because Xaden wasn't supposed to be there. He had to go. And so Llewellyn was basically his seat for Tyrandor.
Like or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Xaden says, enough. This discussion is over. You are informed as a courtesy. Tell the scenarium, don't tell them. I don't particularly care. I mean, Caldir is like...
pissed, but retreating still.
Yeah, he's like, you can't, backing up away from Xaden. And Xaden says, and yet I'm going to. Like, again, why are we still trying to tell Xaden Rierson what he can or can't do?
And it's great because
wants to do.
And it's great because Rhee's like, do we worry? Not because of like it's Xaden. I mean, it's Xaden. I would probably be worried if he's like yelling at everybody else and like what kind of bloodbath is going to be. But it's like even funnier because she's also implying because he's Venom.
Yeah, and Vi's like, no, we don't. And then Halden comes in. I forbid it.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Halden. First of all, and Xaden goes, I don't give a fuck. And Riddick goes, and boom, it's a show. And I just fucking love them.
And Sora goes, my money's on Rierson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes, this discussion is over.
Oh, he used a wing leader voice.
And Halden's voice his face is getting all red. And he goes, you will not open your borders. It's just hilarious. The whole The whole thing is hilarious.
Yeah, then he goes, I will do as I damn well please with my province. Even if your province, it's my kingdom. Yes, you're the first in line to rule a large amount of territory. And then he's like, but I rule mine now. Drathus has weeks before they attack, and Tirador will open her borders. We will take any and all Paromus civilians willing to climb the Madaro Pass. Would you truly condemn 30,000 people to die? And then he goes, you are choosing their people over ours? And Llewellyn goes, they are not endangering our people. This is not a them or us situation. They are not risking our wards. They are raiding. Nor are they raiding. That's what it is. Sorry. And then Zane's like, you don't have to defend my position. We're doing it.
Yeah. And then Howden's like, will you be quite so sure of yourself when I bring my troops into Tyrandor?
Oh, and then the best part happens because everyone looks over at Eric and Xaden goes, you are a prince, not the prince. Bring your troops into Tyrandor and Eric will suddenly find himself first in line for the throne. And then you at this point this is getting bad because like he's skating on the ice basically.
Yeah, like a minute of channeling.
Channeling. And then Holden goes, not smart to threaten a prince. And Cam, what does my little brother have to say about this? Eric goes, Eric. And I'm on his side. Orishan, remember? And unless Rierson here is going to sign another provincial commitment, I believe I'm under his chain of command now, as are probably a third of your troops.
Howden goes, you've been warned. And Xaden goes, and you've been informed.
Bitch.
Yeah,
listen, if Riddick's not the gay best friend, like we need a gay best friend because I can just see him all sassy, like RuPaul, like in the back, like work.
Yes, I feel like even not being the gay best friend, he would still do that. First of all,
I know, but it's like yes.
Oh my god. And then they're like arguing back and forth about like whether or not they're going to stay in Arisha, what's happening. And then all of a sudden, Violet's looking at Xaden, but like wisps of shadow spread around Violet.
Yeah, she's
like
standing there. Yeah, and they come around, and it's like at this point you're like, fuck, he is like channeling something. Oh my god, it's dangerous. And then somebody behind them is the channeling shadows. So the balance is upset with what Xaden did. So they're resetting it by giving another shadow wielder. And I'm like, Lynx, you about to be important.
Be so proud of me for this reference. But it makes me think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer when Buffy dies. And
yes.
What's her name? Faith? Is that her name in the
like the
Faith
sister?
Comes. No, that's Dawn. The other Slayer that is the girl from Bring It On. Like when Buffy dies and the new Slayer,
she's a fucking badass.
Back to life, like. So it makes me think of that. So like Xaden is dead. He's Venom now. He's not dead, but like he's Venom now. So now a new shadow wielder has come to correct the balance because now there's a Venom with shadow powers, so there also has to be a rider with shadow powers. Anyway, it makes me think of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and Brittany's gonna be very proud of me for that reference. So
there's a lot of good ones.
And that's all I had for this chapter.
Well, here's the thing too. It's just like after all of that, it's like, you know what? Fuck your position, Holden. Fuck you for doing this. Also, fuck the balance. We need somebody different. Like it's just a funny situation. It's not funny. It's actually pretty scary, but it's funny. But on the very, very end of it, on 392, there is something that they used as a double meaning, and I really, really appreciate that. I'm not an author, but as a reader, I really like seeing a line, knowing it's meant for one thing, but then understanding that it can also mean something different that is like, you know, active. What is it? So Llewellyn, I believe. No, is it Llewellyn that's talking to her about all of this? Yes, Llewellyn, I think.
Yeah.
So basically they're like, by balance you mean Tyrandor comes first, Xaden second, our relationship fights for third, and my personal needs as are a matter of convenience. And he's talking about her loving somebody in power.
Yeah.
Because he is Duke of Tyrandor, all of that. And then she goes, Xaden comes first for me, just so we're clear, but I will never stop being the woman he fell in love with in order to morph into whatever doormat you think he requires. We're already balanced because we're both strong for ourselves and for each other. He needs me for me, and I'm telling you, I promise to help keep Tyrandor safe, but not at his expense. And he goes, he'll say the same about you. It's what makes your relationship so dangerous. Like I said, it's hard to love someone in power, and that goes both ways. And then she goes, but Xaden isn't in power, he is power. And it's like, you're right, because he's Venom. Like,
Yeah. Well, and I feel like
and I appreciate that.
too, because like at a certain point, if Tyrandor comes first, then Xaden needs to die.
Yeah.
Like Xaden is Venom and he is the leader. If Tyrandor comes first, then he needs to die.
Yeah.
And we all know Violet's not going to do that.
No, and it just ups the stake in the instance for everybody. So it's honestly truly a terrifying feat is what's happening. But ooh. Anyways, until next time.
Bye.